with a lot of these nice switches. I just love that. Like, hey guys, welcome to the studio. Today it's finally about time. I'm all done with the business stuff. No one else is here in the studio. All of my songs are finished. 2 songs with Frankie, all done, ready for mastering. 2 songs with Julia, all done, ready for mastering. So the next 3-4 months of releases is all planned. Just give me a second. I got this new video light. This one right here. It runs on battery power, but only for 35 minutes. Light is important, as you know. It's like treating your room for room acoustic to make music. With light you can see, with a treated room you can hear what actually your speakers are outputting. But that's just on a side note. Today it's really all about getting more into this gear. As I've already mentioned, this is not mine, except for the first one, the sound card. The other outboard stuff, compressors, EQs, the 500 series is by a friend. Thanks a lot. He does need it at the moment, so I can play around a little with it. Try it out, try to implement it into my workflow, see if it actually does anything. Because to be honest, I don't have any experience with outboard gear. Yes, I had once a compressor, and yes, I had once a limiter, but I usually sold them because I needed the cash for other things. And to be honest, most of the stuff can be done in the computer quicker. You can recall it and it's way less expensive. But since we got it here and I have a little bit of time today, let's just try to connect it and get like a workflow in there somehow, and maybe A and B test compare a compressor versus an internal one, if there will be any difference even. I don't know. So we got up here the Claret 8 Pre, 8 inputs, 10 outputs, 2 headphone outputs. Love it. Really fast, no latency. This right here is an audio routing controller. You can basically use it as a patch bay without having to patch, so it's a little more convenient. Below that, 2 compressors. You might be able, just from the look of it, to see what they're trying to kind of mimic. So much fun. Feels really good. Below it, G series stereo compressor. It's trying to be an SSL compressor. Below that, an equalizer, stereo equalizer. And below that, the 500 series with a couple of modules by Elysia. Envelope shaper, filter, and compressor. Stereo toolbox to tweak the left, mid, and right side of the signal. A fake SSL stereo bus compressor with a couple of extras. First of all, you have the mix knob up here, dry wet. And you got another one that lets you choose when to start compressing, at which frequency, so above 60 Hz, 90 Hz, or 120. This way, for example, if you use it to parallel compress drums, the kick won't affect it too hard. So you can even drive it harder without like getting the kick distorted immediately. And here a little color unit for saturation. And at the very bottom, actually, which I will use first today, is the switch mate. It's 4x4, so you have 4 mic inputs, 4 preamp loops. This way you can connect any of the 4 mics with any kind of preamp. Phantom power, of course, and you could, instead of a preamp, also choose any other plugin, but this way you don't have to go to the backside and reconnect your mic to whatever you want to use. And there's actually more right here on the floor. Can also hear root things, kind of like a patch bay, but here a little more complex, even with parallel and whatnot. I actually don't really know how it works. I will probably also not be able to use it because these cables that you attach here, the cable splitter, I don't have them. And here's another stereo compressor. I couldn't add it to the rack because I don't have any rack screws anymore, so I definitely need to order some. And there is even more right behind me. Those are the 500 modules that were all built by that friend by hand. It's really crazy when you think about it. Some of them are like extremely complex. I wouldn't have the patience to do all of this, but I'm astounded. Huge respect for like putting all of this together. What do we have here? It's also a passive equalizer. I could switch that out to anything else that is in the 500 series, but I'm thinking about just getting a second one to make sure these are not just standing around. Here's also a simple master EQ compressor. I mean, just look at that. That's insane. Really insane. I will ask him if he's interested in like doing with me a full video and showing how actually to put something like this together. Because if you want outboard gear, this is by far the cheapest way to get an outboard sound. I love how it says U76 legendary compressor. Mr. Springy, this right here is a Spring Studio reverb. Looks a little bit less complex. Another compressor, very complex. And last but not least, another EQ. Now let me try and connect everything. I will do like a really simple setup for now and really test it. The mic into the switchmate, from there one loop to the SSL compressor, and then maybe another to an EQ, another one to another compressor. I unfortunately don't have a preamp that is working. This one right here is a preamp, a tube preamp, but unfortunately the tubes are missing. So maybe if he has time, he can come here and insert those two tubes so I can have like a real preamplifier for the vocals. I think this is like getting me the most effect for my productions. I don't see myself routing my production through an outboard compressor, but the stuff that I record, the guitars and the vocals, to let them go through a preamp and then maybe through a limiter just to have the vocals a little bit in check while the singer-songwriter is singing. That might be actually quite handy for my entire workflow. So yeah, I just need 2 tubes, please. But it has time. I mean, the next vocal recording session will be maybe in a month or 2. I'm still trying to get back again in contact with the singer and songwriter of All About. I would love to do a follow-up with him, but we'll see. We'll see.
I need more than the shadow of you. You're like cigarettes.
So yeah, first big bummer. Try to connect everything on the back. There is one thing missing because the switcher needs 12-volt power, so a special cable that I don't have. This one right here. I've searched in the studio if something else actually comes with a plug like that, but unfortunately not. So I can't connect the mic to it and from there to the sound card into the computer. I can't also connect the mic to anything else because nothing else has phantom power except for the preamp that doesn't have the tubes. So you see, outboard gear, very complicated. I also have to say, like, switching all of those cables around doesn't look like fun. I just love to work fast and be creative. So I still say, like, outboard gear is nice. Maybe right between, like, having a nice toy with clicky buttons. I love that, really. And I would even agree if someone says they can produce better because they have these knobs, and like feeling what you're doing or automating things with a real knob is a huge difference. But the cables is a pain, the price is a huge pain. Also just the price for the cables is already insane. I think it will just slow down my workflow, which I absolutely don't like. But I will still give it another try once I get that cable, hopefully. So yeah, that's the first outboard gear fail episode 1. I'm sure there will be plenty more. But hey, at least it's looking really good. I think most producers keep their outboard gear because it's there to impress people. It's like, hey, I know how to make music because I have all of this outboard stuff. But for me personally, good room acoustic, good instruments, good nice speakers, that's what really matters, because these are the things that you actually use and that actually make a huge difference with outboard gear. Some yes, some say yes, but I think the positive things are equal to the negative things, so it's really a matter of taste if you need outboard gear or not. But again, it just looks so cool, it feels so good, it's really hard to describe. All done with work for today. I can't believe it. I was sitting here making music and just looking outside and seeing the snow fall, the first snow in this year. I don't know, I just love snow. It really inspired me. I really have to say about this new studio, the best is really the location, the view. It just gives me so much that it's just, I can't believe it myself. If you're in a place where you feel comfortable, your music will be definitely better. A little bit a failed vlog, but I promise you tomorrow I will have the cable that I need to connect the switch unit, and we will do the full outboard gear test, play around a little bit with it. But now it's actually time to just head back home. It's already late. There's a ton of snow. I hope I will survive that. But luckily we switched the tires. Ah! And that hand, that hole, still hurts like crazy. The worst is trying to reach into my pocket, so everything is now on the right side. Mobile phone, keys, car keys. Wow. That is crazy. This right here is a ton of snow. At least for this area of Germany, there is usually never snow. Never. And this is enough. I think this will stay, especially that it now started right before the evening. Tomorrow morning, winter wonderland. Only downside, I actually wanted to get to the studio with the new bike and actually not use the car. I think I have to... No, it's still fluffy. It's turning into rain more and more.
No.
There's still snow tomorrow. You take your day off and we do a snow day, just the two of us?
Would love to, but...
But what?
January and February are the busiest months.
Okay.
Sorry.
So I guess it's just me and you tomorrow.